Welcome to Big Sky Yoga. Carrie here. Thanks for joining me. Today my mini flow is about quads, hip flexors, and hamstrings. So join me on the mat. If you have blocks to use, that's great. I'm going to show you how to use them. So anytime you do any of these mini flows, if you want to pause the video and go through a few sun salutations to warm up, always a great option. But to keep the videos short, I don't include them. So coming to the mat, having your blocks ready, come into tabletop pose. Hands come underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Starting with the left foot, step it forward, bring that right knee back behind you, untuck the toe. Hands come to thigh, shift the hips coming forward, feeling a nice stretch through that right hip flexor. If you want to, you can add the upper body, reach to the ceiling, glancing up at the thumbs, but noticing this huge stretch through the right hip flexors. Knees kept at 90 degrees. Take a nice big inhale, release those hands down. To use blocks, you can have them underneath your shoulders while you're in low lunge. Otherwise, shift those hips back and you can be bringing the blocks with you to start with. Left leg extends out in front of you in line with the hip. Foot coming towards the body, hips are in line and possibly hinging at the hips here in half splits pose. Any pain in the knee, you can bend the knee so you get more of the stretch through the muscle belly of the hamstring. Pressing the chest forward. Nice strong back and open heart. Now coming forward into your, bending into this knee, coming into your high lunge again, whether you bring your blocks with you or not. And this time not lifting up through the upper body, just shifting the weight forward, taking some nice deep breaths, seeing if you can release any tension through that right hip flexor. Nice deep breaths. Now adding in some quads here, you can bring that right knee in, bend that right knee, reach to the foot, thumb towards the ceiling if possible, just to keep a nice open shoulder, and pull the heel towards the glute. Adding in a little bit of resistance, push the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot, and then release and draw the heel to the glute. One more time, press the foot into the hand and the hand into the glute, and then release. Nice stretch of the quad. Slowly release that foot, coming back to your low lunge, ready to come back into half splits pose, whether you're using your blocks or not. Hinging at those hips, but keeping a nice flat back, open heart. Then staying there, or if it feels comfortable, you can slide back so that your hips sit on the back of the heel. This left leg is still in line with the hip, and you're pressing on the the top of that right foot. Hinge forward here, using your hands to support you, and looking for that same intense stretch through the hamstring. Inhale, rise back up. If you were in your half splits, I just want you to bend into the front knee, coming into your low lunge again. Staying here, or if you'd like to come into full splits, you can try that. So blocks always work fantastic as well if you're working on your full splits, placing them always underneath your shoulders as you extend out the left leg and the right leg. Looking to the hips will be open, they're not going to be square to the mat, and just taking nice deep breaths here, working into these full splits. No pain anywhere, no pain in the low back. Definitely, possibly an uncomfortable stretching feeling. That's okay. And then tuck the back toe, bring that right knee in, bend into this left knee. Place the blocks to the front if you were using them, and then bring that left knee beside the right. Bring those knees nice and wide. Come into child's pose and just rock side to side. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Now working the other side, so bringing that right foot in front, extending out that left leg, top of the foot is into the mat, and then reaching up, arms to ceiling, letting the pelvis come down towards the mat, and feeling that nice stretch through your whole left hip flexor. Inhale, release the hands down, coming down to the mat, coming to half split. So maybe you're using your blocks, extending out that right leg, bending into the knee, hinging at the hips. Noticing if that left hip pushes out and then drawing the navel in and up to bring it back in line. Don't forget to breathe. Continue to breathe into this pose, finding the space, not forcing anything. Inhale, bend into this front knee, coming back to your low lunge, but not raising the arms, so you can have blocks if you'd like to. And then adding quads in, reaching the right hand back now to the left foot, bringing that heel towards glutes. Press the hand into the foot and the foot into the hand. Thumb is up towards the ceiling to open up through this right shoulder, and then release. Heel comes towards glute. Again, press the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot, and then release. Nice stretch through the quad. Slowly release that foot. Come back to low lunge. Always an option of putting a blanket underneath the knees. Coming back into half splits, staying here, or the option of sitting all the way back on that left heel. So glute to left heel, that right leg's extended, hip width, and then you're hinging at the hip, getting a nice stretch through that right hamstring. No pain in the knee. If you're feeling anything doesn't feel right, I want you to just come back up into those half splits. Inhale, rise back up from half splits. I want you to come back into that low lunge. Low lunge, and then we're going to come into full splits if you want to, or you're going to stay right here. So using blocks if you'd like to. You don't have to use the blocks. You can be supported by your hands as well. Taking the front foot forward and the back foot out. Noticing that as I do that, the hips open up to the long side of the mat. No pain anywhere. Just letting the body know what you're asking it to do and giving it time to get there. Slowly creating space. Nice big inhale, tuck those back toes, move the left knee in, right knee comes forward, blocks come to the front of the mat, right knee comes beside left, sit back in child's pose, rock low back side to side. And then coming forward, tucking those toes into a toe squat. Thanks for joining me. If you'd like any more information about the yoga I teach, you can find me at bigskyyoga.wordpress.com or on Facebook at Outdoor Mom Yoga. Thanks again.